I don't know what even time it is. Well, it's good afternoon, I do believe. Well, not quite. Anyway, good afternoon, everyone, and greetings for the new year, I guess. I don't know. It's my channel's not going the way I wanted it to, and for the only reason is that I've been so stressed out lately, and everything hasn't been going according to plan, and I think, and again, there's just some things that uh, you think you're planned for and you can't plan for. But this coffee talk, well, tea talk, because I've already done had my coffee. So I'm gonna try to prop myself up here and get comfortable in this chair. It's kind of hard to bend my knees and stuff, but anyway, things haven't went according to planned in my life, and as you all know, I've kept you updated and um, on everything that's happened and different things, and uh, I've had a loss in my life. I lost an old acquaintance, and that took a toll on me. But it is what it is, and nothing can be done about it, and you got to move on. But all the plans that I had for my channel, I mean, I've got other channels too, and I haven't done anything with them because I can't concentrate. Can't I wintertime just does horrible things to me. So with in the process of getting my knees done, and you have to wait for when they everyone that's in control, you have to wait on them and what their criterias are. So no matter what it is, when you sign up for society, you sign up on their rules and their regulations, their demands, and how they want to run it. You have very little to say about it. So, but I did get my propane this morning, and you want to talk about stupid. Now, which my daughter had made some phone calls, like I told you, and everything, and I got my text last night, which they didn't have me set up for text messages, but yet they lied and said, "Oh yeah, she said she got a." Well, no, I didn't get anything because they didn't even have me signed up. So anyway, they texted me last night the delivery for tomorrow. All right, so and then of course it was supposed to snow again. So my daughter's sitting there talking to me on the phone this morning, and she says, "Well, there goes the propane tanker right now." So they went out. One of my grandkids was yelling for Teresa, and here they were at the top of the hill, not the grandkids, the propane people, at the top of the hill, turning around because they couldn't make it down that driveway, which I'm not in that driveway. And so anyway, they got and turned around and went back down the hill and kept right on going. Sent me a text message saying, "Well, we tried to deliver, but we couldn't. We couldn't make the delivery." And I text back and oh God, you don't know, you don't. I mean, I can curse. I can let some cuss words come out of my mouth. And I wanted so bad to say Fuck. You went to the wrong house. But all I said, well, you went to the wrong house. So Teresa tried to chase him down, couldn't find him nowhere. And I called the office and I said, look, they're out here trying to find my place, and if it's a new driver, then sure, they're going to be confused. And I said it shouldn't be, though. I mean, if they're using their GPS, you've got two addresses which they know to come, to come to, and the other one would have took them right straight up to my house if they'd have just. But anyway, I called corporate then after I talked to her, the main, not the main office. I called the main office, and I said, they're out here running up and down the hill or up and down the road trying to find my place, or what, we can't find them now. My daughter can't find them, and they went to the wrong house to begin with. Well, and then of course the first lady I talked. Well, unfortunately, we have no way of letting them know that they went to the wrong house. Here's the thing, folks. When they stopped the phone calls, they stopped all communication because what? Saving time? Saving money? What? I don't know. But it would have been to his benefit, not so much mine, in that moment in time, that if he could have called me and asked me, where do I go to? Now, keep that in mind, to ask where to go to. Well, she said, I called corporate. Somebody must have got a hold of him, because when Teresa tried to chase him down, he was nowhere in sight. And she went clean into where this grocery store was, and she didn't see him nowhere. So then here he come up the same road that he come to the first place, and then he stopped and backed up into somebody else's driveway, and then he come back down. See, now keep this in mind, because this is how fake people are. So here he come up the driveway, and he got out and trudged up the. I have a hard time, because watching him let me know that he's not the person for the job. He's not. He's just. Sorry, guys. He's a wimpy little guy. Is what he was. Not made for that kind of a job. And he trudged up through there. Could barely handle the hose. And gets up there and fills puts propane in my tank. And and then he went, put the hose back when he was done, and then he got in the truck and because the machine marks up on a piece of paper what was put in my tank, right? Well, I was set for 61.9 gallons, which that wouldn't have been enough, because I ordered that when I had 25%, and now it was almost empty. And that was 2 weeks ago that I ordered that. Actually, yeah, 2 weeks ago. And so I see him coming, and I meet him at the door, and I said, now, don't you think it would have been much easier on you had you been able to call me instead of you running around all over the place trying to find it? And he just kind of, and I asked him about I said, well, where did you go to the last time they said you were here? He said, oh, yeah. He said, no, and he kind of bypassed that. Well, here he said he knew where I was at. He'd been there before, and He said he's afraid of the driveway. I said, well, for good. I said, well, what made you go up to the top of the hill? He said, well, they said there was another way in. Well, yeah, there's another way into their house, but not another way into my house. I said, and besides that road up there's way worse than this one. He said, yeah, I've been here before. Now, remember that member said he couldn't find a place? He was here before and he didn't like the driveway. He's afraid of it. And he said, well, I'm leery of it going down. I said, well, you don't have to be afraid of it. It's all going to be fine. Well, no, I'm afraid of it. Yeah, I'm afraid of it. I said, well, then you're in the wrong profession. And so to watch him back down out of here, if he had backed in the first place, he wouldn't have had that issue. But apparently he's not very good at backing up. Not a good place for a man like that to be delivering propane. Has no kahunas whatsoever. So what are you doing? What are you doing in this job? But I looked at my invoice, and it said there was a delivery correction. So instead of giving me 61.9, they only give me 60. Even less than what, so I know it didn't go clean up to 80%. 80% with it expanding would have given me 100%. All right, so I got through that. And now, okay, I got my propane. So here we are. What's next? What's next on Joy's agenda? What do I got to do to bring me back into my world? Society's world? Or let's start a whole new world? You tell me. Okay, well, losing acquaintances is not the nicest thing in the world. And I'm not going to say how that acquaintance was lost, but so now it's like, all right, now what? Now what? I did work on my office yesterday, and I took some stuff out and to make a little bit more room in here, and make it more accessible for me to be able to work on the computer and different things. So my agenda for 2025 was to get some of these other channels up and running, and but in my personal life got too hectic, spending too much time on areas that I didn't need to, because it was just going to end up being a waste of time anyway in the long run. It wasn't during the time length. It was very fulfilling, but it took away from my business. And nowadays you can't afford to let your business slide and try to live life that's normal for you, for me. So, I mean, just starting up a channel, what 6 months ago? And it started out fairly good, and then just, and a lot of people say, well, it's because of your topic. No, it's not because of my topic. It's because I wasn't putting enough time into it. You need to put your full force time into it. Even if you're just sitting and having a cup of tea, then you're thinking about subjects and doing a little bit of research and stuff and finding out how you can do it. So, I lost a little bit of joy. Yes, I did. Losing my acquaintance. But can I push on? You better tootin' I can. Because I got a life to live. I can't sit and lose all my joy and stuff because of other things going on. That's just like these corporations and stuff. How am I gonna handle having to depend on other people? Well, I'm gonna have to get clear what it is I want and move forward to working on it and getting done what I want. First of all, not depend on get myself in a position where I don't have to depend on corporations, companies, and so forth. So that means either just depend on one, that's a landlord, and maybe find a place with all utilities included. So I don't have to go sign another contract, and I don't have to do this and depend on the companies. Or I can move to a warmer climate, and go that way. I mean, I could still move back to Florida. I still got my Florida driver's license. I know people down there. They're not the best people in the world, but I know people down there. I mean, I like being around my family. I want to be around my family. But and living in a camper is okay as long as you don't have to depend on other companies. So how can I do that? Well, it's really cold in the wintertime in a camper. I mean, there's just going to be days that I'm going to be absolutely freezing. And there's going to be days that I'm not going to be comfortable at all. Now, can that happen in a house? Yes, it can. But I have to say, okay, if I stay in this camper, I'm going to get rid of the contract with the propane people and try to come up with things for my own self. Okay, I can get a solar for summertime, and you can do solar for wintertime, but the way the sun's been lately and the way they're manipulating the skies and stuff to make sure we don't have any sunlight. So my plans are in the making. I'm not sure how I'm going to handle it. Maybe I'll just sell this camper and get enough money for a down payment for a piece of property. I don't know, or buy a house, rent to own, or something like that. Or like I said, get a landlord, which I don't want a landlord, but I really do have a landlord here. And my daughter, I pay them for the electricity and stuff, and I pay to have my camper sitting here. But me being here is causing more work for them. And I'm still in a predicament where I have to depend on other people to help me out. So where can I go and what can I do that I don't have to depend on other people? Well, if I rent a house, then I'll have the landlord I have to depend on. So, but at least if I get in a house, on flat ground, stuff like that. There's other things I won't have to deal with. But again, I digress, you guys. I mean, it's like, what am I going to do with my channel? I'm going to recuperate from all this stuff that's happened. I'm going to try to get some form of video out every day, and I'm going to try to work on the other channels. Now, one thing I do have to watch is what I'm going to talk about and how I'm going to talk about it. And it's just that simple. It's getting organized. So, like I said, I made more room in here. This is my office, so hopefully this is where I can do all my work, all my videos, everything right here. I'm even going to try to do my which I don't know. That's going to be hard to do. I haven't figured that out yet. My exercise yet. So, it's all a matter of trying to work things out in a small space and make it work for you. So I hope y'all out there are doing the best you can do with what you got, and try to stay joyful, because a merry heart doeth good like medicine. And if you allow everything around you to break your spirit, then your bones are going to dry up and wither away, and you're going to wither away. So I'm moving forward, regardless of what's happened in my personal life, regardless what's happened with me trying to live in a camper. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to try to step up, get bolder, fight back against the corruption out there and the greed, and try to stop having to depend on corporations and so forth. So I'm going to try to get my other channels up and running. And listening to music is good too. So I've got my music set up out there that I can Bluetooth from YouTube and listen to my music, and when I'm trying to get things done around the house and stuff. So that's the video for today. One nothing spectacular, coffee talk, tea talk, whatever you want to call it. Lemon water talk, whatever. So I want my life to be better, and I want you guys' life to be better. It's all, again, like in no matter what mindset, if we think we're poor, we're going to be poor. If we can find things in our life that makes us feel wealthy, and we say we're wealthy, then we're wealthy. Just look for every little, turn every little pebble that you can to find your happiness. Now with me, if I have to sit down and think about the good things that's come to me this past few months, and think about it, enjoy it, then I'll get through it. So you all have a great day. Love y'all.